Jalen Walker, a case that they want us to forget, a case that they're just trying to sweep under the rug, bracing for the impact and hoping we'll, you know, do a little this, do a little that, and then just walk away and accept the results. Just put our coats up and say, "Oh well, we tried," and just continue about our day, waiting for the next big thing to happen, waiting for the next unfortunate death that the race soldiers will cause, and then sit back and call it justice, and then watch as the so-called people of the court willingly side with the race soldiers and their tactics. Why? Because it went all as planned. It went exactly as planned, in better words. It went exactly as planned. Excessive force? Nah. It was just, we couldn't know. We couldn't know for sure. I mean, for all we knew, he was armed, so that's what they're gonna say. Well, that's gonna be some people's arguments, and I bet you they won't be as nice as I pretended. They're gonna be they're gonna rub our noses with this. They're gonna be ruthless. I guarantee you, most people in the comments gonna say he deserved it. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're doing it already. Now it's nothing new. Not like they weren't doing that before. But at this point, they're gonna rub it in hard, and then proceed to call us all uncultured, ignorant animals. Just people who can't accept the facts and love to make a big deal out of things that they decided wasn't a big deal. Not us. Not the black nation. No, the people in charge. Them folks. Them folks. They make the decisions. They decide what's right or wrong. They decide what's the right thing to do is. They decide your fate. It's always going to be them. And hey, if you try to talk back or get rowdy, they'll make sure to put you in your place. This right here is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, they knew it was wrong. Don't misinterpret. They knew exactly what happened and how unjustified it was. They knew that from the get-go. I promise you that. But they're tired of taking the losses. People are starting to panic. People losing faith that the government can continue to control us like they have for several hundred years. Nah, they getting scared. So they had to do this. They had to do what was necessary for their society in hopes that the illusion of control can be maintained. Because we all know the illusion of control. Slowly but surely. This ain't gonna last forever. That this type of behavior. Not when things are changing up in the racial dynamic in America. Oh, well, don't get me wrong. Things are probably going to be the same for a while. We might even have new challenges to face later on. But I hope that in due time, we will be able to rise up and go about things the right way, the justified way, the way that doesn't excuse this type of behavior, the way that doesn't support this type of behavior, the way that makes it very clear that unjustified killings like this, that unjustified uses of force like this, won't be tolerated. Because this right here isn't about toleration. It's about supporting. It's always been about supporting. We all know this. Let me go ahead and catch up. So you guys knew what happened. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys already know what happened, but let me read just in case. That's usually what I do anyways. Arkin, Ohio, AP, an Ohio grand jury declined to indict eight police officers who fired 94 shots in the death of Damon Walker. I'm going to read that one more time. An Ohio grand jury declined to indict 8 police officers who fired 94 shots in the death of Damon Walker, a 25-year-old black man who fired at least one round at officers during a car and foot chase last summer. It won't be a car and foot chase. It's either one or the other. If it's at least one round that they're supposing, and wasn't even. By the time he already got in the car, he was unarmed. That's a fact. So the foot chase was an unarmed one. All right, he wasn't armed. So I'm pretty sure he didn't fire the cops while he was driving. That's something that they try to debate, but as far as I know, no shots were actually aimed at an officer during a car or foot chase. So I don't know what they're talking about. If it's at least one round, it can't be two scenarios. It has to be one or the other. It definitely wasn't a foot chase. Definitely wasn't that. So the state's attorney general announced Monday Walker was stopped 46 times in a hail of gunfire that lasted just under 7 seconds and riled yet another city amid high intensity with police over the killing of a black man that started for a routine traffic stop. Acon's mayor and police chief urged residents Monday to protest peacefully. That word is funny. Peacefully. Peacefully. They want us to protest peacefully. To each their own. To each their own. Acknowledging that many are angry with the shooting last June, that Walker's family has called brutal and senseless, turned toward one other and not one each other. Turn toward one another and not on each other, said the mayor Danielle Horgan. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost said the state's investigation found that Walker jumped out of his still-moving car, ran for police, ignored commands to stop, and saw his hands. Some officers first used tasers to try to stop Walker, Yost said. Yeah, now, pay attention to the wording. He jumped out of his still-moving car, ran police, ran from police, ignored commands to stop, right? And so his hands. Okay, no, never mind. I misinterpreted that. I misinterpreted that. Okay, so let's continue. That's my fault. Some of the officers first used tasers to try to stop Walker. Yo, sad. But Walker reached towards his waistband and raised a hand as officers were chasing. Now, this is what I was. This is what I was looking for right here. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. He reached towards his waistband and raised a hand at officers. A hand, not a gun. A hand. So he reached towards his waistband. Listen how little this makes sense. He reached towards his waistband, right? But he did not have his gun on him. Okay? He was unarmed at the time. Okay? So he realized that he didn't have a gun. So what does he do instead? He raises his hand, his unarmed hand, and they shot him. There was no gun. Nothing like that. It was at the car. He left it in the car. But yet, somehow, he realized he didn't have his gun and still raised a hand at officers. Which, if they can see he raised a hand and not a gun, then there was no fire. Now, if it said that he reached into his waistband and then he shot him, that's different. But they're not saying that. They're saying he reached to his waistband and then raised his hand. But why? You should already know at that point you are unarmed. So this right here is what I feel like they're. I'm not gonna say anything. To each their own. I mean, y'all already know my stance. If you're a long time subscriber, you already know what I think it is. Hopefully, this just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Not knowing Walker left his gun in the car, believed he was going to fire again. Yo said he said it is critical to remember that Walker had shot first. Okay, whatever you say. Whatever you say. I mean, I'm not gonna dispute that a shot was fired, but where? As far as I know, that he was it. They didn't stole him with an arm at the window shooting our cops. They said one round was fired. That's it. Who would shoot with just one bullet? Let me know. Who would shoot one bullet? Like, come on now. Who has a whole weapon and only shoot one bullet? I mean, he didn't have his hand out the window while he was just pop, pop, pop. Nope. He just fired one round. One bullet. Responding with tears and frustration at a subsequent press conference, the Walker family and their supporters mourned the grand jury's decision and called on Arkansas residents to protest rally for justice and change. Democratic U.S. Rep. Emilia Sykes of Arkansas says she will ask the U.S. Justice Department to investigate the pattern and practices of Arkansas Police Department. I still got copy that a young man has 46 bullet holes from officers that is justified. 46. Okay, so it said 94. Let me read that again. I thought it was 94. So why are you changing it up? Okay, I get it now. They fired 94 shots, but only like 46 connected. Okay. I still can't comprehend how a young man has 46 bullet holes from officers that is justified. It's like said, while also urging people to honor Walker's memory by. Oh, I'm gonna skip that. Yeah, I'm gonna skip all that. The failure in the NAACP previously have called on the Justice Department to open a federal civil rights investigation. Bobby DiCello, an attorney from Walker's family, criticized the state's investigation, saying the police gunned down Walker execution style. Paige White, another attorney for the family, said the investigation was skewed in favor of the police, and Devlin didn't have a chance. That's what it sounds like. It doesn't make sense to me. He reached for his gun. He left it in the car. He realized he didn't have one and yet raised a hand at officers? That just doesn't sound right. At that point, if you reach for something and you realize it wasn't there, you're not going to raise your hand and just pretend it was there and just use finger pistols. I'm sorry, this just doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Not at all. Our common precept, Brian, when you call for peace, when you call for no destruction, when you call for respect, what would you expect for Jalen? Like you said. Exactly. No respect. No respect. They just want to say, hey, you better calm down. Y'all better relax. Talking down to us. The state investigation said police first saw Walker driving with a broken tail light and a broken light on his rear near license plate, but they decided not to follow him. They saw him 10 minutes later at the same intersection and became suspicious, Yale said. Police said Walker refused to stop and then fired from his car 40 seconds into pursuit. Okay. But I guess he didn't hit anybody. He didn't hit nothing. That's not. Oh, he make. No one was hurt. Okay. It's funny how I can probably give you an example of a white person doing the same thing or even worse, and they came out just fine. As a matter of fact, I know one instance when there was literally an active shooter had his gun out, aiming at police officers. This is actually on camera, but I don't know if you still have that. Probably not. Maybe I don't know, but he had his gun out. He was aiming at police officers or something like that, and they were all around him. They didn't fire one shot. Sorry about that. They fired one round. Only when the public told them to that they did it. But they act like they were going to try and reason them and try to turn them in. He literally had his gun out. And they were very respectful. They were very, oh no, let's talk about this. You don't have to do this, you don't do that. And so the people around them had to tell them to do their job, and that's what they did. That's funny. Double standard. That's what a guy. This is a true story too. That's where elsewhere. Everything I love, this is true. On everything I love, this is true. There was a whole video of it. Race soldiers chased the car on a freeway and city streets until Walker bailed from the still moving vehicle, ran into a parking lot where he was killed while wearing a ski mask. Bodycam video sold authorities said he represented a deadly threat. A handgun, a loaded magazine, and a wedding ring were found on the driver's seat of his car. Yeah, in the car, not on him. So he was unarmed. He was completely unarmed, and yet they could tell as he. I mean, this doesn't make any sense to me. Police union officials said that the officers thought there was an immediate threat of serious harm, and that their actions were in line with their training and protocols. No, they weren't. I promise you that's a lie. Well, actually, no, it's not a lie. It was was definitely in the broke cause. To a black person. Black person even resembles a deadly threat. Even looks like if I hurt somebody, shoot him down. Shoot him back exactly 94 times and hope for the best. Hope for the best. That wasn't successful at all. Just hope for the best. That was perfectly reasonable firing that many rounds. Perfectly reasonable. And not only that, I'm pretty sure they handcuffed him while he was down on the floor dead. Handcuffed his body. That wasn't moving. Who does that? What animal are you? The night he encountered the police, he wasn't acting like himself. You're sad. By all accounts, he was a good person, a good man. Before he said Walker's online history, found in the weeks before his death, searches for phrases including drink bleach and quickest ways to die. According to investigators' report Monday, the report also contained information from an equal Ohio police captain who told investigators that Walker's best friend interviewed for a police job in the city days after Walker's death suggested it had been a suicide by a cop. Oh wait a minute. Hold up. I have the perfect argument. The perfect argument for this. He was suffering from mental health. This wasn't his fault at all. He was suffering from mental health. He wasn't a villain. He wasn't a monster at all. Especially since he didn't hurt a single person. He was suffering from mental health. So that outright clears anything he did. Outright clears it. He's there for mental health. So perfect argument. Perfect argument. I'm always saying this because that's exactly what they say every time a white person is either a school shooting or a mass shooter. Mental health. Everybody feel bad for him. Everybody blow candles. Everybody pray for the family. That's literally their argument every fucking time. And we're all supposed to accept that every single time. Nobody this is an ongoing thing and people still fall for it. I promise you they do. They still fall for it. Because they don't want to believe nothing else. They don't want to believe anything else. This man was clearly struggling. He was up to something. There's no doubt. But he didn't have to die like that. That was unnecessary. They reacted way too quickly, if you ask me. They were a little too eager. Some of this don't seem right about me. Just don't seem right at all. He was distraught, but never mentioned suicide. Person was asked for a news conference if Walker's death could have been suicide. He declined to speculate about Walker's state of mind, but said there was no direct evidence of he was suicidal. I don't think it was. I'm not opinion. I don't think so. His mind was just. I don't know. I'm not him. I can't really say. I'm not going to say what a person was thinking, especially if they can't defend themselves. But I'm sure he wasn't suicidal. Uh, I'm pretty sure that's enough. That's all. That's all we really need to see. I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's more, but that was the most important parts. And so with that, the racers is at again, and hopefully, well, sorry, my sister's gonna hold on. Hey guys, I am back. Sorry about all that. My sister was crying and it messed up my train of thought. But anyways, let me fix it up. There we go. Okay. Um, at the end of the day, this was completely unjustified. This is a murder. This is white propaganda at its finest, and we should all be aware of this. There's no
for evidence to say otherwise. I mean, come on, it's cut and dry. It's completely cut and dry. If you can't tell me firing 94 shots is an overreaction, and that they handcuffed his dead body wasn't an overreaction, you're fucking retarded. All right, so this is your boy, the Stutter God, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.